Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic stream. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Suzette Speaks. I'm a TV host and attorney out of Miami, Florida, and I love bringing you interesting conversation. And tonight is no exception. If many of you have been watching what is happening around these YouTube streets and, of course, around social media, you'll know that Lizzo, one of the most, I would say, trendy artists, musical artist and talent in the United States, has been making waves with a new show she has brought to Apple TV. This show is called Make Way for the Big Girls, and girls is spelled quite uniquely with three R's. And in this show, I have not watched it in full disclosure. Lizzo is seeking backup dancers for a tour that she was doing short notice. It was back in 2021, and she decided to record her tryouts for her backup dancers. And the show has been given a lot of acclaim because there are many who believe that Lizzo is allowing women of all shapes and sizes to come to the fore and celebrate their beauty. Their beauty that is non traditional, their beauty that takes up space, their beauty that challenges the status quo standard of beauty, particularly in the West. Now, there are others who say that this representation is actually having a negative effect, that somehow it is promoting negative stereotypes, that it is encouraging obesity, and that it would not be celebrated in this way if the latest trend in body positivity had not arisen over the last few years. So there are people who are celebrating it. There are people who have problems with it. And I have a weight loss expert tonight who did a show recently on his YouTube channel about this topic. I have not watched it, but we were going back and forth and contemplating what we were going to discuss tonight. And I said, let's talk about Make Way for the Big Girls, or Watch Out, I think it is, for the Big Girls. And what, Lizzo being such a, heavily talked about public figure, what it means for Black women, what it means for body positivity, and what it actually could be doing in terms of encouraging what some would say is bad behavior. Well, let's get into the chat. Welcome. My name again is Suzette Speaks. I'm happy to see all of you guys. If you guys are here from Kirk, D.A. Anderson's channel, my special guest, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing. And if you're watching on Facebook, you know what to do. Hit that like button. I enjoy bringing you interesting conversation-worthy topics about 3 or 4 times a week, mostly in the evening, like tonight. We're almost at, 6:30 tonight. And Kirk does have another interview right after this. So we're going to keep my intro short and sweet. But I wanted to definitely bring this up because I know, being a woman who does not meet the traditional standard of beauty myself, right? I know I'm not a size 2. I'm definitely not a 0. Right now, not even an 8. So 8, 9, 10, whatever. Count on up. Count on up. Don't shame me now. But outside of what Hollywood, outside of what traditional media considers beautiful. So when I saw this production, Lizzo in all her glory, y'all, I thought, wow, this is big. This is trend setting in a way. This is pushing against the industry's very clear standards of beauty as we've seen them. And I thought, wow, this is groundbreaking in many ways. But there were those who said, boo, this ain't it. This ain't it. Let me get to the chat and see what the chat is saying. Again, welcome. You know what to do. Appreciate you being here. And we are going to get right into it with my special guest. But first, let me make sure I say hello to my peoples. What's up, RM? My moderator is here. She is already hard at work. Put your location in the chat, please, and let me know where you're watching from. All those new subscribers I have now had. I see my numbers going up. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and consider, if you're watching on YouTube, hitting the notification bell. And if you're watching on Facebook, hey, consider going over to YouTube where your views truly, count. And I can see all the chat. I really can't see the chat sometimes from the Facebook page, right? So shout out to the Suzette Speaks community wherever you're watching. But let me say hello. Yay! Seek Amethyst is in the building. The lioness of videography says, this is another collab I cannot miss. Thank you, sis. You've been so supportive. Appreciate you being here. Good afternoon, the positive therapist. Nice to see you. Good afternoon, Igwe's daughter. Appreciate you being here and watching. Happy, what we're going to call it, terrific Tuesday to you. Skincare do's and don'ts. Well, I'm going to have to come check you out, sis, with Latasha Moore. Love that title. Welcome, one of my Patreon members, Mr. Bernard S. Facts and the Uncomfortable Truth. I love it. With Bernard S. Good to see you, my brother. As well as Sunrise. Good afternoon. How are you? Good to see you. Glad you are here. Jeremy in the building. Whoops, I think I came. No, you ain't come to the wrong stream. We're going to be talking about body positivity, the image of women, and of course, health and obesity. I think that's what this conversation starter has done. Lizzo is a conversation starter in many ways, and just being present in the space that she's in, pop music, and being the plus size gal that she is, she created waves from the time that she entered the scene. Many people had so much to say about Lizzo, how she presented, what she presented. Was it sexy in a positive way? Was it kind of people were making fun of that kind of, laugh at you, not with you type of positivity? What did you guys think? I don't know. Are there Lizzo fans here? I'd like to know. But we have a weight loss expert whose take I'm going to see, momentarily, what he feels in his industry and who he works with. Many happen to be women. Many happen to be women of color. So we got to really take a look at what images are being presented to us and why. So I want to hear what you have to say, whether this is good, expanding the acceptable beauty of natural bodies, very plus size natural bodies, or do you feel, and there is a camp, maybe quiet, maybe loud in some circles that say, this is not the representation, particularly of Black bodies, Black women's bodies that we want. It is akin to, old stereotypes. Some would say, the mammy stereotype, and argue that, no, this is not good for representing Black women this way. But I would argue, there are a lot of Black women that look like Lizzo. Let's just be real. And there is a spectrum of beauty that has not been acknowledged for so very long. So we're going to see what our guest has to say. I see you in the chat. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Thank you so much for being here. But again, tonight I have a special guest coming on over from his channel. So please consider subscribing. My guest YouTuber is Kirk D.A. Anderson. He is a weight loss expert. I've left his website in the chat, as well as his personal story. It was so personal. I was like, I'm just going to put it right now, just as Kirk sent it to me, as where he's been. I have a couple before and after Kirk. I didn't tell you. I pulled from your website, sir. I wanted to see what you was working with and how far you've come. I see the muscles now, ladies and gents. You're going to see him in his full glory now. But what I like to see is the progress, right? In this channel, we do not celebrate perfection. We celebrate progression. Many of us are works in progress. Everyone struggles. I've shared with you last night, we had a wonderful show. Shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher. She did a whole cooking demo. I think that was a wonderful back-to-back precursor of tonight's conversation with Kirk D.A. Anderson. But all of us have been at some point in our lives, even maybe now, on journeys for self-improvement, self-awareness, self-development. That's what we do here. We use current events, social justice topics, you name it, to learn about ourselves through the experience of others. So that's what we do over here on the Suzette Speaks channel. Please consider subscribing, hit the subscribe button. But yes, tonight I got to bring up my guest because I told you he got an interview after this. Lizzo is inspiring, y'all. And I wanted to also highlight in what ways. Now, there is a all women's dance team that is a part of Alabama State. It's called the Honeybees. And a friend of mine knew I was getting ready to do this topic. Y'all come on in. We're talking about Lizzo's. Watch out for the big girls. Alabama State's dance team has now created a second dance team. This is, Battle of the Bands, think, dancers on the football field, called the Honeybees. Now, the Honeybees were created for plus size dancers, right? They were one of the pioneers. Now you're seeing more schools with plus size dance teams. So if you want to check them out, there they go. Honeybees in the building. And I will tell you, first and foremost, my own opinion. First of all, them girls can dance. Let me just start right there. They high kicking, they stretching, they're splitting, they're doing everything else the other dance team would do. But they're representing for, again, a body type that has not traditionally been seen as acceptable, as sexy, as beautiful. So when I've been watching some of the honeybees, it made me think of Lizzo as well, and what her representation has meant for the acceptance of different types of body types. So we're going to have a discussion about it. I won't say, again, positive. I can see positives. I can also see drawbacks, just like most of you. Some people are very passionate about this, but we are going to get down with our weight loss expert just momentarily. Veggie. Let me say what's up to a couple more people and bring him on up. But yeah, it's a trend, y'all. It's very much a trend. Hey, Brown Gal, Peace Lounge. Good to see you. J-Balls, I missed you. How you been? You probably been working hard. Nice to see you. Yes, the Miss Creative. Nice to see you. Yes, go Bama. Bama not playing with they girls. Seriously, made a whole plus size dance team that is very popular online. You can watch the views viral, if you will. And there are so many parts of their representation that people are loving. So I ask you, is this type of representation like Lizzo's, watch out for the big girls, good for women, good for Black women, good for the Black community, good for all of our health and wellness? Or are we being fed, some would call it, not my opinion, some would say a toxic image of womanhood? We got lots to talk about. Are y'all ready? Yeah, the girls from Alabama, they do not play. You can see them out here in their outfits, they leotards fitted, high kicks in tow, and they are quite popular, quite frankly, in the halftime shows when the honeybees come through. Okay, so we have got, all types of body sizes. Jesus, see where the Freudian slip goes. All types of body size representation. Here we go, Sue. Wake back up. That we are seeing across media and now in real life, right? We have different teams now. We have people who are emulating in their own style and swag what Lizzo wears, what Lizzo does, how she moves, most definitely, but also in fashion, right? You never really saw in a very mainstream influencer such as Lizzo, her, overt sex appeal. She puts it out there. She's like, if Beyonce can wear half of what, a big bathing suit and tights and all this, why not me? So there are various opinions about this. I'm going to have my expert come through. Kirk, are you ready? I'm excited to have you. He is ready to go. Well, without further ado, I want to welcome our special guest, none other than from his own YouTube channel, Mr. Kirk D.A. Anderson, weight loss expert and fitness coach. How are you?
Fantastic, Suzette. Thanks for welcoming me to the show.
I'm grateful that you're here. Y'all, he always come ready. Look at them. I can't even see it. The shoulder, what is that called? Deltoid, bicep,
yes.
Little pectoral. Kirk is not playing. Kirk, before we get into our topic, tell the people where you are from and a little bit about your channel, please.
Okay, well, I'm born and raised in Jamaica, hence the accent, Kingston, Jamaica, similar to Suzette. I came over to the U.S. for school, been here ever since. Sometime last year, I decided to officially become a certified personal trainer. I've been helping people unofficially over the years after helping myself. Like many of you, have struggled with my weight over the years, and I lost 65 pounds once and unfortunately put it all the way back on. I guess that's pretty typical, right? You lose it, can't keep it off, and you put it back on. During that time, I'd spend a couple thousand hours by my calculation reading or listening to health, fitness, nutrition information, which was very useful, learned a lot. Unfortunately, I didn't know enough and fell off the wagon, right? The two things I think that held me back was, I guess, the first one, the seven deadly sins, pride, or you could call it arrogance. I thought, hey, I'm smart. I'm sure I can figure this out on myself. I was wrong. Finally got professional help. My first coach was a lady, an IFBB pro bikini model as International Federation of Bodybuilders. Very petite lady. You could say like 730 pounds, stronger than most guys though. And again, looks very girly. She competes in bikini. She helped tweak my program, diet, etc. So I transformed a second time. I had two other coaches aside from her. And yeah, this time I did it the correct way. Let's say lost the fat, built muscle, and I've maintained it for almost 5 years now. And that's pretty much it from me. And I've also helped some other people. I helped a lady lose 50 pounds. It was probably my best success story to date.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big. So
Thanks.
you have been there. I have a before and after picture I'm going to throw up in a little bit. So you are living this journey.
Yes.
So I want people to know that because I think it's from a place of having walked in her shoes, so to speak. Anybody who has lost as much weight as you is coming from a starting point that
Right.
is, similar to, a person who has been either diagnosed as obese or morbidly obese. Were you characterized as either of those?
Oh, I was definitely obese.
Yeah, no, let's just
Yeah.
think. If I go
Yeah.
to the doctor, I have one doctor, I want to punch her in her face. Like,
Yeah.
babe, I know what's going on. Thanks for the reminder. But I
Yeah.
already know. Thank you very much. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to eat better. So you got into fitness basically from your own struggle, it sounds like.
Pretty much. I mean, I have a regular full-time job. This is something I just do part-time, but
Okay, got it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
did you play sports in high school? I want to know if that's where you came from, or were you kind of like the nerd or chubby kid, or what was your kind of
I
group
guess,
or crew? Excuse me.
well, I guess I was a hybrid.
Okay.
I guess the best way to describe it. So yeah, because funny, I was on prep school's football, well, I guess what you call soccer team here. So I did that. So I was always into sports. I did track and field. But then as you get older, to be more specific, as soon as I came to the US, I put on weight.
Yes.
That was my downfall.
Oh,
Yeah,
all of this wonderful fast food and good food and plentiful food.
Yes,
Trust me,
plentiful.
all my friends, all my cousins, when they leave Jamaica, they are skinny.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they come to the great US of A, boy, the food gets you fat.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's crazy how quick. I'm talking
Yes.
about I have skinny guy cousins, skinny girl cousins, and 2 years or less, they have adapted to the American diet.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit more about that. And their bodies show it. I'm like, you were so skinny. Like,
Yeah,
what
it's so
happened?
easy to consume food because I remember the time in undergrad, right? That was, I don't know, probably 160. I'm 5'8". I probably weighed like 150, 160, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And unlimited hot dogs in the cafeteria.
Oh goodness! Don't let me get me started. And I was skinny them time that I could eat all that because I had a high metabolism.
Yes, exactly.
But then it starts to slow down on you.
Slow
and it's
down,
like,
yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah.
Let me get some feedback from the chat. Life of Cash says, I'm gonna be quiet. This live stream, we'll see. The Positive Therapist says, as a dancer myself, I can speak to dance. It's not about size. It's about flexibility, coordination, and a host of other things. Point well taken. Pretty Gal Peace Lounge says, pretty big movement is also a group of professional plus size dancers and choreographers. They were on America's Got Talent. I'm telling you, it's very trendy, and I think it had always existed. You always had the very flexible, thick, beautiful, big and bold and beautiful woman who always made the team, or at least in my experience, that you see, and she come out, pop in the middle, and do a little, something, and people cheered, and it was very, very accepted to an extent. as far as it being, entertainment worthy, let's say.
Mhm.
Let's see what else the chat has to say. RM has been busy. They're talking about the gun show is in full effect. Yes. Kirk been working out tough. Absolutely. Kirk, Jamaican champion. Jake Foles, I love it. Good vibes. They say welcome. And yes, and then Kirk chopped down trees with his bare and built a brand new one. I love it. Shout out Gail at night. Nice to see you, my darling. How are you? Yes, Kirk did his own live. So we're gonna get into it because I know you have limited time and you have another interview after me.
Yeah.
Yes, USA Diet feels like pizza. Yes, isn't it great to be confident regardless of weight? Yes, good point, Miss Globe Girl. And then she adds, but is it healthy? This is the question. Shout out to Lamarcus. Nice to see you. All of those who are watching, hit the like button. Why don't you? While you're here, appreciate it. Igwe's daughter. Nice to see you. First time I see you on the super chat. Thank you. Left a comment saying, all for body positivity, but let's not allow salacious behavior to promote unhealthy lifestyles. Uh-oh. Twerking. Woo. Now we're going to take it there already. With your booty out at an NBA game. Hate, her words, hate that Lizzo is black. You don't see Tess Holiday doing that. And I think there was also something on Twitter as well about, comparing, I think it was Lizzo to Jill Scott and saying that she was more classy. Y'all back me up, chat, please. I hope I have the right players. I'll correct it in the comments if I don't. But saying that, she is more classy. Jill Scott, you don't see her doing this, kind of pitting them against each other. But interesting comment. Thank you. Thank you both for your generosity and for your thought-provoking opinion. All for body positivity, but let's not allow salacious behavior, meaning because Lizzo, again, has this overt sexuality with it that you're not used to seeing with such a high profile, full-figured woman. Let's not use it to promote unhealthy lifestyles, twerking. And that was a big deal and then my cousin said to me, I had this conversation when Lizzo, if you don't know what we're talking about, went to an NBA game, sat courtside, got up, and her shirt dress had two big cutout ovals over her backside, over her buttocks. And when she got up, we were all like, oh, that's what we do? And then she walked down the tunnel, where the guys come out and go in, and then stopped in the middle of the tunnel. This I'm sure you guys can find on social media, and began to twerk. And it was I was just like, is this Lizzo? Because before, her brand anyway in mass media was very squeaky clean. But then my cousin was like, no, check out her Instagram. It's far more overtly sexualized. So the person I thought I know with, the like those feel good songs, when I looked on her Instagram, I'm like, oh no, they're promoting her as a sex symbol, as a sex object. And, sex, sells music, I'm sure, just like it sells everything else. So it was very interesting to me, like, oh man, the public image I thought was more of a bubblegum pop artist. And it's definitely not if you look at her Insta. So can you respond to this? What are your thoughts when you see this comment from Igwe's daughter?
Well, it's a very deep comment because the issue is that body positivity is a good thing, right? Just the term positive sounds positive.
Right.
So the fact of the matter is, when you're obese, you tend to much more likely to be depressed. Those are many, many studies that show it. Body shaming and fat shaming actually does not work. It doesn't motivate the person to actually change. It actually makes it worse. Just think of all the people I can think who told me, and probably yourself, Suzette, usually friends or family members, hey, you might want to lose a couple pounds.
Them Jamaicans, bro.
Yeah,
you look fatty, you get fatty.
Yes.
And they start squeezing up your backside and squeezing up your boobs. And I'm like, are you really doing this right now? Yeah. I mean, from we were little.
Yeah.
Going to visit our relatives. You get fatty.
Yes.
And they mean it, some of them, in a good way.
Yes, in a good way. Because they're looking out for you. They're thinking they're helping. But unfortunately,
but your self-esteem go.
Exactly. So here's the thing. Right? Body positivity is good, but it's been corrupted. Because body positivity should be, for example, I've lost weight, I've transformed, but there's things about me I wish I could change. I wish I had a six-pack. I don't have a six-pack. but it doesn't mean that I should be unhappy with what I've done. Now, if I was 300 pounds, it doesn't mean I should be like, you know what? I love me for me. I'm still a nice person. I'm smart,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. I'm nice to you. That's not enough because the fact of the matter, I was very unhealthy. I was pre diabetic. I remember sitting in a car being driven to the dealership, like the courtesy vehicle, and I
Yes.
just got faint, right? And that happened like twice. And that's when I discovered what hell pre diabetic meant when I went to the doctor, right?
So you almost fainted during like a test drive?
No, sitting, just sitting, not doing anything, just be seated in the back seat, which is
Wow.
crazy, right?
Wow.
Blood pressure was sky high, like 180 over like 150, 40. Some crazy, crazy, crazy numbers, right?
Mm.
Cholesterol was a mess. Everything was a mess. I mean, I couldn't brush my teeth in one go. My lower back would fatigue. I'd have to like take a break, stand upright, then continue brushing my teeth. And you see, the problem is this, right? When
Wow.
you're in these bad position situations, that just becomes your norm. It just becomes
Mhm.
your norm. You think this is how it's supposed to be, but that's not how it's supposed to be. There's nothing normal about not being able to brush one's teeth or being pre-diabetic, or you can't walk up the stairs without huffing and puffing. There's nothing normal about that.
Wow.
So when somebody is really big, and I saw this with a lady on my show, because if somebody's on the cover, I think it was Cosmo, a yoga instructor, an obese lady. So if you weigh, say you weigh 200 pounds and you see this person who's 300, you're like, oh, wow, I'm not doing so bad. She's 300. They say she's good. Then I must be good. No,
Right.
because your question earlier when it says, was I obese? Yeah. Because the first time I got tested, I think it said my body fat was 35%. I was using the DEXA scan machine.
Mhm.
And this was after I'd lost weight. So I knew I was fatter. And then when I lost a bunch, people at the office are like, oh man, you look great. You're doing good. And I was like, yeah, but I'm still fat. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, the machine says I'm fat. You may not say I'm fat because what we consider fat is no longer
It's
what we consider
grown.
not
It's
normal.
grown,
It's
yes.
like my
What we
mom.
consider a serving of food, pardon me for
Yeah,
interrupting,
yeah, that's
is
fine.
huge.
Yes, it's huge. The studies have shown, if you Google it, the size of cans of Cokes, serving size for everything has gotten bigger. Like the Mini Cooper is not a Mini anymore. The Bug, the vehicle, the VW Bug, it used to be tiny. I remember my aunt having one. It was tiny. Now that thing is
Yes.
a full size vehicle because people become bigger, right?
Yes.
You
Yes,
can't use
absolutely.
these types of things anymore.
So
Um,
there's a drawback to it, I think would be the big takeaway. The size now, the sexual nature of her,
mhm,
is a whole nother side of it. I think we'll leave some of that for the end. But I do think, what is being sold, some are arguing it is unhealthy. They, and again, there's a thin line between be proud of who you are,
right.
love yourself, don't let nobody abuse you,
Hmm.
stand up for who you are. But there is this unhealthy side of it that has a lot of people questioning, who are we, and what are we promoting when we
Yes.
have shows like Make Way for the Big Girls. So I'm not saying that I'm trying to present other sides of this
Right.
argument. I'm gonna read some of the comment, and I'm gonna let you continue, Mr. Kirk D.A. Anderson. These watches in the building, nice to see you. The positive therapist adds, most dance teams don't typically have overweight girls, which is why this new movement has started. The costumes don't typically go past size large. That's for the typical dance team. But yes, the plus size dancers are a thing. And people have, from high school and probably even younger. I've seen it where it's like the full flag squad that is fully plus size and representing for the full figured ladies for sure. Let me see. The positive therapist adds, I would not say that I hate that she is black. I do wish she was not promoting an unhealthy lifestyle. Thank you for your opinion. Yes. Okay. So it was Jill Scott. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. Jill Scott with Lizzo. They were saying, why can't she be? There were
Mm,
people, one Twitter commented to her, and I think Jill Scott responded, that's why it became a thing, was like, don't put me against, my sister, so to speak.
mhm.
She has a different walk for me. Everybody comes with different life experiences, and she's just not me. It doesn't mean I'm better or worse. She's just herself. So yeah, it was a big back and forth about people saying the same thing. Why is her representation not only as a plus size person, being, I think some people are saying glorified, some people, and also that added layer of sexuality makes a lot of folks uncomfortable with her, and saying that, is she being pushed on our young women, our young girls? That's what, again, she came out bubblegum poppy, and is that good? Is that actually something that's very positive? Is it broadening the spectrum of how beauty is perceived, or is it actually sending some kind of, some would argue, nefarious message? Now, tell me about your show you did. I saw you had, I clicked, when
Yeah.
you run your finger and you just,
Yeah.
I don't, because I didn't want any preconceived ideas.
Right.
I didn't want to repeat what you had said. Y'all go over and watch his show, please, on his channel about this very same topic. But tell us some of the highlights or some of the main points you drew after kind of your analysis of watch out for the big girls.
Well, to me, it's definitely glorifying being very big. Like, actually, specifically obese or morbidly obese. I would say actually many of the ladies are morbidly obese. And they're very athletic, so they can do everything. There was one lady who was doing flips in heels, so
Oh
incredibly,
yeah, they moving now. They
yeah,
moving.
they can do some incredible things. What you have to ask yourself is what message that's sending, because it's, if you, again, I give this example, if you see somebody who's 330 pounds being glorified and you're 250 pounds, then what are you going to say? Well, I'm good, right? I mean, this person is almost 100 pounds bigger than me. Then what do I have to worry about? But that's not the reality. There are the social, mental, economic, and health costs to being obese, right? There's a social cost, which is kind of common sense, but you're discriminated against, you have issues going out. There's the cost, clothing costs more. I was surprised when I started doing some of this research, right?
Hold
And
on now, hold on. You're breaking stuff down. Let me just say
yeah,
hello. I got one more super chat, and you will
yeah,
tell me about the costs because
yes.
I think sometimes we don't realize what
Mhm,
people who are on the more morbidly obese side of the spectrum go through.
mhm.
So I think it's good to spit facts. So hold that
Yes.
thought. Before the billions in the chat, nice to see you. I think I'm gonna do a Black Men Speak roundtable coming up next month, and he and I have kind of touched base about it. Kirk, I would love to have you on there,
Yeah,
and I
sure.
have, I like to start the conversations, the good ones. Appreciate you being here, my brother. Black Man Unfiltered Network. Actually, he's going live after me. You guys might catch me over there. Thank you. He says great convo. Says appreciate it. It's uncomfortable to talk about because people are so passionate one way or another, and then they feel like it's personalized. If you don't like Lizzo, you talking about them, or if you say Lizzo might be problematic, you talking about them. And again, as a woman to another woman, I do not, and I take it very, very seriously when you are offering criticism, not her, the person, but the representation that she's putting forth. And again, people get very sensitive. We don't want to beat down Black women. We don't want to in any way just tear down another soul. That's not what we're doing here today. It's more so trying to be objective about what she's being used to represent, right? Not her, the person. And again, her, the person, has her own struggles, I'm sure, because she's talked about it. Yo-yo dieting. She vegan today. She not vegan tomorrow. She overate. She documents it. That's why it's even, I think, fair game here on the public square, because it's something that she has herself been open about in terms of her own struggles and her own, self-acceptance. When she looks in the mirror, sometimes she does cry. Sometimes she has, all these moments that many of us as human beings have had, right? So that's why we want to be very careful. Andre, and how we approach this. Andre adds facts. 100. It's so hard to stay fit with all these fattening foods everywhere. Shout out to the fast food joints. And it's being harder and more expensive exactly to eat healthy. And we're going to acknowledge not everyone has the same access to fresh fruit, produce. We have food deserts. We have a lot of other things, and I think barriers. When we talk about this in this sense, we're having a middle class conversation, because there are various communities, neighborhoods all over the country that struggle a lot to get not processed, fresh, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to acknowledge that. Thank you, Andre. Hey, Andrew Wagwan from New York. He says, we as a race promote negative in our habits. Ooh, we as a race now, that's strong, his opinion. Promote. Are we promoting it? Or are people using us to promote? Let me back that up. We as a race promote negative in our habits, images, looks, and behavior. Sitting on that. It is not just her size, but the other collective things. So the habits, the image, the looks, behavior, I stated prior. She is a beautiful person, but is her spirit well? And I think that, again, I tried to acknowledge that with what I just said. Thank you very much. Not a personal attack on Lizzo at all. But again, if she is allowing herself to be used, if she wants to be used, or some people get used and they don't even know, There's a lot of things that you said here, but the negative habits, images, looks, and behavior. There are people that have, from the time that she came on the scene, pushed back some on what her image has been representing. Do you want to respond to this and then get into some of the drawbacks of how people who suffer from, uh, obesity sometimes are challenged, the four top challenges? That's where your mind was. But do you want to respond to this first and then go into that?
Yeah, sure. So we as a race promote negative in our habits, images, looks, and behaviors, not just her size, but the other collective things I stated prior. She's a beautiful woman, but is her spirit well? Yeah, the sad fact is, as Black people, there are certain stereotypes you have to deal with. And you can be discriminated against, right? The various realities, whether it's a police stop, etc. So whether it's right or wrong, if you're a famous person, that comes with certain responsibilities, I would say. Personally, I think. It's like Charles Barkley famously said, he's not a role model, but if you're famous, you are. It is what it is. So anything you do is going to be heavily scrutinized. And in our case, it's going to be attributed, again, rightly or wrongly, to the race as a whole. Just is what it is. It is what it is. So I believe he's correct when he states this.
Yeah, that
For good
bothers
and for
me
bad.
because we still have such limited representation
Exactly.
that it's still a matter of, well, one seems to still have that pressure of representing all. That's what the whole issue was with Will Smith.
Mhm.
And Chris Rock mama talking about, he slapped him, but he slapped us all like that.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying. She's saying
Yeah.
that this representation is going to be, whether rightly or wrongly, attributed to all of us. Great points. Thank you, Kirk, and thank you, Andrew. Yeah, there's some pushback here, and I think one more super chat. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Hit the like button. We're talking about with guest YouTuber Kirk D.A. Anderson, weight loss expert. Y'all go ahead and check out his site. He's done some work himself. I'm gonna put the before and after up, Kirk, just momentarily. But our
Okay.
topic for tonight is Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls and what it means. Is it body positivity? Is it promoting negative stereotypes and behaviors? What say you? This is an open forum. Again, not a personal judgment of Lizzo, but of course, she is a public influencer and a figure in the music and entertainment industry that is, again, promoting something that we really have not seen in the likes that she has presented it. Very confident, at least outwardly, the stage persona, very plus sized, hypersexual, some would call her, and arguably unhealthy at the same time. So there are lots of people that say, well, you don't know her bone structure. What's with this big boneness? I am big boned. Oh, I'm big boned. But there's so much, pressure on her, honestly. So to make Black people proud, if you will, if you believe that, what was just raised, to be a positive role model. But again, she's doing her life. Clearly, she's not worried about that. Check out her Instagram. But should she be? And again, if it's not her, is it her record label? Is it the proverbial powers that be? We not going to Illuminati levels tonight. But whoever it is, I remember, I think it was a great show. I think Reese the Red Dragon from Philly brought up a comment once, and I never forgot it, about how powerful, for example, we were talking about Maury just got canceled and Jerry Springer just got canceled, and how many hours of the day those type of shows were played in America. You could turn off one channel and go to another broke baby daddy. You can turn off another channel and go to another broke baby daddy. And how that image of Black men, particularly from America, was exported for 20 years. And they canceled that and then gave Jerry a bodyguard show and gave, what I'm saying? So when it comes to media and media depictions, I do think of there's a bigger force or forces at work. So I'm not going to just put it on her individually, but there are people that say, boo, you're allowing this. And are you, fully embracing that responsibility? That's what we're going for. Let me read a chat or two. I saw super chat. Big up yourselves. Thank you guys. K Doug, appreciate you coming through. Let's see. Theme is creative ads. Let's not forget being fat is a real thing. Is it healthy? No, however, yes, ma'am, it is a struggle. James I love a thick sister. Let's go. Triple C Solutions. Thank you so much for your generosity in the super chat. Wagwan, says Triple C. When America suffers from a malady like obesity, Black Americans suffer tenfold, particularly Black women. Wow. Thank you for that. Lizzo can
Mhm.
promote body positivity, but we must not continue to ignore the problems. Let's be real. The ERs, the diabetes and insulin clinics,
Mhm.
right? The heart disease, all these, you even dementia, they're saying, can be linked. There are a lot of unfortunate correlation to poor diet and unfortunately excess weight. We're just going to call it what it is. And I'm going to let the experts speak about it. I've been
Yeah.
reading about it too and trying to get myself motivated too. But thank you. Let me read it one more time. Go ahead and read it, Kirk, please, and then respond to it if you will.
Sure. Yeah. Wagwan. When America suffers from a malady like obesity, Black America suffers tenfold. This is true, particularly Black women. And the statistics, which I can tell you about, is
Please
backs this
do.
up.
Please do.
And Lizzo can promote body positivity, but we must not continue to ignore the problems. Yeah, everything he said is spot on. But before I even jump into those details, one thing you said I want to address about being big boned, Suzette. This
I
came up.
am big bone though.
There's no such thing, Suzette. There's no such thing. There's no such
But
thing.
look at my wrist. My wrist. Sorry, that's the lotion. Sorry.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but there's no such thing. So here's the thing, Suzette. There's no special BMI, right? For Black people, we don't have a special BMI, right? So when
I
you
know
were
I'm big bone.
younger,
I'm
you were
sorry.
not big boned. When you were young, you weren't big boned, right?
I was though.
Are you sure about that?
Me big bone.
Sure. All right. I'm gonna leave you with being big boned. I'm gonna leave you with big boned. But the point I want to make here is that we don't have a special BMI, right? Because people, let me tell you a story. A Black doctor told me, right? He said he or she rather was explaining or was being told by a white doctor. The white doctor is telling her, he said he dreads when he has to have a session with a very large, overweight Black female. Why? Because when he says he explains to them like, ma'am, based on height and this, you're too big or you're at risk of diabetes, blah, blah, they're gonna tell him, doctor, I'm big boned. It's different. I'm thick. I'm bliss. I'm that. It's different. You don't understand. Blah 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 blah.
Culturally, that's what we know of.
No,
Okay,
and this
I hear
is,
your
and,
point.
and let me tell you one more story. Because this is crazy. I was in a Facebook group, right? A girlfriend of mine told me to join it, and it was for women, right? About losing weight, blah blah blah. So I'm there giving comments and la la la, and people are liking the comments. And there's a lady called, or wrote in rather. She was like, I don't know what she was, the height, but she was like 190. And she said her doctor told her, hey, if you want to get a kid with her husband, she need to lose some weight, blah, blah, blah. The amount of ladies that were saying, no, what he doesn't know what he's talking about, what's his race, this and blah, blah, blah. And then finally some sane person said, listen, none of you all are doctors. And this lady who was writing was either a doctor or a nurse, I don't remember. She's like, listen, you're not doctors. Stop telling this woman to listen to your non-medical advice about what the doctor told her. So there's this myth out there that we somehow genetically we can be bigger than other people. That's just nonsensical.
Are
There's
you
no medical
sure?
evidence to this, right?
I was always thinking in the people in my class. I always was at the top of the even my niece, she's at the top of the growth. she's like in the 99th percentile
Yeah.
of what a 2-year-old should be.
So, it's a contradiction, right? Because when I did that show, what I did was I went on YouTube and I pulled up from the 70s, from all races, white, Hispanic,
so many
Black people,
comments.
and
I'm
they look
just gonna
different.
flash them. Yes, go
They
ahead.
were slim because my mother is 5'6". She had a desk job. If you have a good job in Jamaica, you're not doing no housework, right, Suzette? Right? She had a very good job.
Yes, of course.
She was 5'6". When she had me, she was 130. When she had my brother, she was 140. And she never go no gym. But that was that generation.
But
So
they eat in Jamaican organic before organic was organic. There was no fertilizer. There was no GMO. There was not. They were actually eating fresh spring water, drinking fresh spring water. Doug, I'll push back on this.
No, I
I
agree
think
with
this is true. Doug says, why do people say that there's poor access to produce? Of course there is in certain parts of the country. I haven't seen that because you don't live in a food desert. Doug, that's very, what should I say? It's gentrification in terms of food too. There are places that you cannot get a Publix, a Kroger, wherever part of the country you live in. The Walmart is like the Piggly Wiggly, and it's like miles. Like this is very true. People in general
That
do
is
not eat
correct.
fresh produce. Next time is major as check out produce section is full.
So where Doug, where
I
I
hear
think
your
Doug,
point, but I don't agree with
yeah.
you, Doug. I don't agree with
So
you. Go ahead.
I agree with this is that he's incorrect on the food deserts part. I think
Yeah.
what he's trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Doug, is that even when places like that exist, we are not shopping there. Right. When I go to
Okay.
Whole Foods, there's not a ton of people looking like me shopping in Whole Foods. There's a ton of other people in there. Whenever
Because
I
it's
see,
whole paycheck. Because I used to shop at Whole Foods, so I realized they taking up all my money.
it
I was
used to be,
like, ooh, I used to
wait.
go to Whole Foods a
Until
long time
Amazon
ago.
bought them, it used to be like that. Yeah, the nickname was Whole Paycheck. I remember this. But if you think about it seriously, if you eliminate beef and seafood, the stuff is not super expensive. Plus, you can go to Walmart or Publix or
Yes.
Kroger. There's tons of places now that sell organic stuff, that sell healthy stuff.
That's
But
okay. So we ain't got to give away the whole paycheck anymore.
no, we do not. No,
Quick,
we do
I'm
not.
gonna intersperse because I'm way behind in the chat, and there's so
Yeah.
many good comments, and I know you got to go by a certain time. Skin do's and don'ts. With Latasha Moore says, according to Office of Minority Health, wow, 4 out of 5 Black women are classified as obese. This is unfortunate. It needs to change. Obesity puts us all at risk for diabetes and CVD. What is CVD? I don't know. I'm supposed to be smart. Sorry, help me out with that.
Cardiovascular
Thank
disease.
you, disease. Thank you. See, the health expert would help me out. I promise. And Thursday, I'm going to be on Talk with Tori at 6 or 7 playing brain games. Y'all come up and show me some love because I'm scared I'm going to be in this position where I'm like, the clue is, and I'm like, do, 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 do. And I have no idea. Brown Gal Peace Lines. I think Peace Lounge. I think it's her instability that's a red flag. One day she's twerking half naked on TV. The next day she's crying hysterically on IG. Interesting. I don't think her behavior exudes real confidence. It's a facade. Many people have made similar statements. Miss Creative says, if we're talking weight, then it's not the food, it's how much we consume. Very interesting.
That
Thank you
is
for
true.
that. Yes, help us, God. Help me with portion control in the name of Jesus. Doug, you still on that hurricane came to my area? Bread and meat shelves was empty. Produce was that I can believe. Being thick is something that is glamorized in Black culture. Oh, yes. There's a whole weight gain sisterhood and movement for very thin Black women. There's
That
a
is
weight
fake.
gain.
That is fake. That is fake.
No, Messi.
No, wait. No. When I say fake, I don't mean it don't exist.
What
What
do
I
you
mean
mean?
is the women that are selling this stuff are fake. With their before and after pictures most of the time.
Oh, like they can't get that weight on like that with it.
Nah, that's not natural. Most of them.
That's that BBL.
It's both exactly. It's that and other there tips certain people have shown me you can look how certain things have changed.
And you're like, no, that was fake.
And blah blah. Yeah.
One problem is that we love home cooking. Mom's mac and cheese. I'm trying to get off of that. Y'all give me a broccoli with hummus nowadays. I love Jerry Springer in my youth. LOL. It wasn't until my adulthood that I realized how trash it was. Show was absolutely. Hey, Doug. You know we can agree to disagree. Andrew adds, Lizzo needs to do her music and be elegant. Nah, not happening, sir. We must be mindful of our actions. Kirk Anderson, you're correct. You're correct. Your image and physical condition now inspire others. God bless you.
Thanks.
Oh, super chat. Thank you. The positive therapist says making them ashamed of their weight eating habits does not motivate them. Some people bold. They own business, right? There's whole cruises. There's whole, girls outings of, very obese, medically speaking women. Okay, making them ashamed. Thank you again for your generosity of their weight eating habits does not motivate them to get healthier. As a clinical therapist, I can't speak on her mental health. I hear you. I wish she would use her platform to promote healthy weight. Interesting. So, Kirk, before I rudely interjected, and I just got to get to the chat.
Yeah, no
always
problem.
some good feedback. And again, thank you, the positive therapist. Good to have you here. So you were giving some of the real consequences, real challenges for folks. So you were breaking it down in 4, but you was going kind of fast.
Yes,
so
I know. Thanks for pulling me down. Thank you. So, big picture, we have problems, and then we'll get to solutions, right?
Okay, let's do it.
But Brown Gal Peace Loan, she raised a very good point about the facade, because this is not in my statistics, but think about this seriously. Have you ever, well, let me put this back. Many of us know people, either ourselves, like when I was fat, that are happy being fat. They're legitimate happy. They're not an unhappy person, right? But have you ever met in your life or heard of a person who lost a ton of weight and became less happy? No such thing.
Listen.
No such
I
thing.
have a brethren, and he has struggled with weight, and he tells me, he's like, "Yo, Sue, people treat me so much better when I'm slimmer." It's like an obsession for him. I feel bad because it kind of goes yo-yo. And when he's obsessed. He's caught up. But he talks about it. He was like, I get better girls. The place where he worked, he's like the doctors treat him better. He gets all this attention. He say people try to help him do his job when he's really in shape. He say I actually work less when I'm in shape. And it's amazing because sometimes we don't talk about this type of quote privilege, but that good looking privilege or that really in shape privilege is real. So people do notice a huge difference. Like you're saying, when you lose weight, you're not necessarily going to be sadder. You're going to be much more.
There's no such thing, because if they were, they would get fat again on purpose, not accident. Like I got fat accidentally, not on purpose, the second time, right? Because the studies are clear. If you are obese, you're significantly more likely to be depressed. This is just factual, and this is common sense, right? Now, in terms of the cost, you have the social, mental, economic, and health, right? So let's look at some
mental,
economic,
and health. Okay, let me let you get the floor and break that down, sir. Yes.
So let's look at economic, right? You, if you're overweight, you will spend $2,505 per year, which is double what a normal weight person spends on medical expenses. There's also the fat tax, whether it's in the furniture you buy. You can't just buy anything if you're really big. Clothing, it's more material. Just think if you got a dress made, the dressmaker have to use more material. I'm going to charge you more. When I had to buy bigger suits, you only had limited options to pick from when you're at a certain height and weight. Especially men would know this. When you're really fat, you can get the jacket on, but you can't fit the pants. No, you got to get special pants, this and that, blah, 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 right? So there's many little things that are, think of airfare. Many airplanes will charge you more if you're taking up more than one seat. You'll have to buy the extra seat. There's certain limitations there as well. And here's a shocking one. The typical mattress is only designed to support 250 pounds on one side. I was shocked when I found that out.
We say mattress, but mattress is what you mean.
Yes, mattress. Yes.
Mattress. I just had to come in and interpret. The mattress. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest shockers.
To hold 200. Now, most Americans, if you put two people on there, that's going to be more than 250.
Yeah. No. So it's 250 on either side, not one. Yes, 250 on either side.
Do better because that's.
Yeah, but that don't matter. I mean, my heaviest I was 235. I mean, there's a lot of people that are bigger than 250, right? So, if you have a significant other and you're 280 on your side, that's a problem, right? That's just a reality. Then the social costs, right? Your friend touched on some of the social costs there, right? It's subconscious. People, I remember every time I've been slim, I'm treated better. I distinctly remember going up to the hotel once and purposely asking my then girlfriend to wait. And I went to the front and I got free upgrade to the room. The ladies were just nicer to me. That's because I'm not fat, right? Yeah. Just think you're more likely to hold open the door for what? A cute girl or a fat girl? Men are more likely to do that for a cute girl, right? The benefits go both ways. Both sexes get these benefits, right? There's just this stigma with weight. It is what it is. Then there's the mental cost, right?
So we got economic so far, cost more,
social
in both health costs as well as just living costs,
right?
And then you said socially, obviously the social acceptance, the ability to get ahead, treated better in general, especially in Western culture. And then what is next? Emotional, you said?
No, I'm talking about mental now.
Mental. Okay. Go ahead.
Right. So you're talking about quality of life, right? Just to be able to do things. Like I interviewed a lady who had lost a whole person, 150. She was embarrassed once. She's out with a friend. She had to be told to get off the ride, right? Or going to restaurants, she couldn't fit into certain things. It's embarrassing. I remember being out, no joke, with a lady who sat in a chair and it broke. I can't even begin to imagine how embarrassing that is, right? To be as a grown adult, sit in a chair and it gives way underneath you. That has to have done terrible psychological damage to this person, right? Then there's the discrimination. We touched on this already. Then the poor body image. You don't like what you see in the mirror. It is what it is. So you wear things, you suck in your gut, You wear things to hold things in. You limit how you dress. You're careful with what you do. The certain colors, the this, the that. There's nothing good about that, right? And the last part would be the health. For example, for me personally, it was embarrassing to get a haircut. My scalp would flake like it was snowing. And every time I'd have to listen to the barber. Well, you need to get this lotion and this and that. I'd have to tell him, yeah, I'm already going to a dermatologist. I have this special shampoo.
Well, hold on. Why your scalp was flaking?
Because the food quality was terrible and I was overweight. When you're overweight, nothing works right in your body. Nothing works right. I was fat and my food was terrible.
What did you eat, Kirk? And that's your biggest? How much were you?
235.
That was your biggest?
Yes. And that's misleading.
How tall are you?
5'8".
Okay.
So don't get focused on the number. The fat is what matters because people like to look at the scale. You've heard the term skinny fat, right? A lady that's or a guy that's skinny, they got like a double, triple chin. Yeah, you don't want that. So my body is very misleading. At
Thank you, Andre. Andre said, "Don't worry about being fat. Just be sweet, feminine, and hardworking." Appreciate it, Dre.
At 235, I didn't look 235. My body had good ability to evenly distribute the fat everywhere, right?
Yeah. That's the kind of body I have. I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
Thank you, God. That is so vain, but I thank you, God.
Yeah.
My fat is evenly distributed.
Yes.
Some people have it where their boobs get big, their tummy gets big, their
back. They look weird. They're shaped funny.
No, that's where their fat collects.
Yes.
You don't have control over that. That's just nature.
Because because my before and after pictures, I remember one of them distinctly showing this lady. She's like, "You shouldn't use this." I'm like, "Why?" But I'm fat. She's like, "Yeah, trust me, you don't look that fat in this."
Let me put it up. Kirk, I'm gonna drop you down for a second. Y'all want to see Kirk before I screenshotted it off the website?
Okay, that's fine.
Because I was like, "This is what people need to see." And shout out to Before the Billions. I see your super chat. Y'all ready? Let's make a small. Make a small and go to the before and after. Sorry, Kirk.
No, it's fine.
Be small. All right. Remember, you see it? No?
Yeah, I had my man boobs going on.
You didn't have no man boobs. You was, again, people are fatter than that. So people are going to say, you're not fat. You know
I'm holding in my stomach in the fat picture. So
you're holding it. Let me just drop a. So they've taken it in and again, there are people, because you still got good shape. I can see underneath the fat picture though.
Yeah.
You still have good musculature.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like some people they don't have that. You get what I'm saying? You have some good basic stuff. Probably from those days when you was playing sports in high school.
Yeah.
Your body remembers a little, you know?
No, it is a thing. So when I lost the 65 pounds, I was doing triathlons, and then I wanted to get strong because I was weak. I mean, the barbell with no weight felt heavy. No exaggeration. No exaggeration, right? I was weak.
That's what I lift, so thank you.
Exactly. I was about to say I was as weak as that guy can be weak, And unfortunately, I didn't know what I was doing. So when I put on some muscle, I got put on too much fat, and then I just fell off the wagon a couple years later. And then I just got all fat all over again, basically.
So what was wrong with that? Tell me what you should have done instead. So what did you do?
This is very important. So I'm using myself as the example. Okay. The two things that held me back is ignorance and arrogance.
Okay.
You have to be very self-aware. So ignorance, I didn't know certain things. Okay. Certain things I thought were true were not true. And I didn't know what I didn't know.
Right.
Right. So this is when I was arrogant, thinking, I'll just go on Google. I'm smart, figure stuff out, spend all this time researching, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And I lost weight, but I couldn't keep it off. I couldn't gain the muscle properly. And when I accepted this and I saw my opportunity, I was in the gym and I saw this really fantastic looking lady, and she had this cap said IFBB. And I asked her, hey, does that mean International Federation of Bodybuilders? She's like, yeah. It's like, do you coach? She's like, yeah. It's like, can I hire you? She's like, yeah. And the rest is history, so to speak.
Okay.
So most people,
you did it yourself. You try to lose weight and didn't build enough muscle.
Correct. So I lost the weight. So here's the key part here again. I remember getting myself tested at the time. It was like $25 to do a bod pod. And while I was losing the weight, the fat is going on. But I noticed the muscle started to go down too. This is where a lot of people screw up when they yo-yo diet. So let's say somebody lose 30 pounds, maybe 5-10 of it is muscle. And inevitably, they gain that weight back. But when they gain it back, it's all fat. So they're worse off than before. And they do this over the years, yo-yoing up and down. But every time they yo-yo back up, it's all fat. So now they're slowing down their metabolism and they're getting older. So then they're in their 30s or 40s. They're like, oh wow, I can't do it anymore. Yeah, because of all the damage you did many, many years ago.
Lord help me.
It's
Okay, so let me understand what I'm doing wrong there, Kurt. Let me see. I see this. The positive therapist, before you go, sorry, the positive therapist
yeah.
says there is a psychological component to losing weight. Everything starts in the mind. Once a person makes up their mind to do, I feel like I'm there. Yeah. Doug says, I have a friend in high school. When she wanted to be thicker, she would buy cases of Ensure. Whoa, in 2 weeks. Pow. Ay, ay, ay. Peace Joy says Lizzo is an obese, blah blah blah. Okay, your
Mhm.
opinion. He seems knowledgeable. However, slow down.
Yes.
I know he's like boom, ba, boom.
Mhm.
Stu Leonard, Trader Joe's, and Fairway are not cheap. Trust me and believe that. Before the millions had a super chat, I wanted to get that. Yes, say what? I know sickly, slim, and big, but mostly slim. Interesting. The positive therapist says 19.86% of adults are experiencing. Wow, 20% of adults experience mental illness, equivalent to nearly 50 million people. I believe it's probably more because a lot of people with the stress of this pandemic,
Yeah.
4.9% experience severe. So 5% of us. Wow. Keep pushing positivity and help us to love ourselves and become better people. All love, Suzette, says James Swanson 03. Thank you so much. Just sleep in the middle. Let me see. Did she change dress size tripping today? Y'all so funny. Uh, did she change dress? No, this is what I've had on all day. Yesterday it was a different. Yes and no. I've had on the same dress. Dropping gems. A positive therapist says more than 264 million people suffer from depression worldwide. Ah, yeah, yeah. Before the billions, thank you. That's why I need a new mattress. The mattress not made for the mattress not made for a heaviness. I'm telling you, I've seen mattresses where it sink down in a hole. You ever roll over? You roll in the middle. It's like, I mean, some of them are cheap, but some of them is like, this is definitely a V mattress. It happens. Sometimes mattresses are not well made. So back to what you did wrong and what you're now doing right. So
Yeah.
you saying yo-yo losing muscle versus losing fat.
Yes, you always want to just lose fat. You want to not lose any muscle. So that lady I helped lose the 50 pounds. So most women will be like, or many women will be like, oh, I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to get big and muscular. You do not have the testosterone to get big and muscular. Just think of all the men that you've known throughout your life who want to get muscles, who can't get muscles, right?
Yes,
They have way more testosterone than you. So even if you try your hardest, you cannot. If you see a very, very muscular woman, she's taking some kind of performance enhancing drugs. That is not natural, right? You just can't do it. But what it will do, if you go to the gym, or think to anytime you've been in a gym, where are the hottest bodies? Are they on the elliptical or in the weightlifting section?
On the weightlifting.
Exactly. They're not doing the Zumba class, right? They're not doing Zumba. Those ladies over there curling.
Low my Zumba, bro. Let me low my Zumba. I like a da 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 da. I be jamming. Oh my god, especially when it's like the Latin mix.
Yeah.
Fun.
Doing it for fun is fine, but if you're trying to transform yourself, Zumba is not very effective.
So what you trying to say? Get away from the cardio, do the weights.
Yes, it's all about lifting weights. It's all about lifting weights. Again, just think if you want to build, you talk about slim, thick, and all these things, right? It's doing those glute bridges, lunges, and squats is going to build that derriere, right? If you want that Beyonce derriere, the Serena Williams derriere, it's not being built in Zumba. I can tell you that. Zumba ain't going to build it, right?
Yo, let me do my two-step. You're like, no, y'all hit the like, but no, you're enjoying the conversation. I want to focus now as we talk about with weight loss expert Kirk D.A. Anderson. Y'all check out his channel. I really want to talk about solutions because, like, as we're talking about here, you know, Lizzo's image is one thing, but the reality for many of us specifically the Black community is another. As you stated before, there are a lot of people who work with and treat us in our health in the or should I say health and fitness industry that see the same things over and over. So I want to ask you about those patterns and the lies that we tell ourselves, me being biggish boned. Like, so what do you see is the untruth and then what is the truth? I want to get to, you know, what we tell ourselves in our community and or what you see as a fitness, you know, coach and an expert, you know, helping train people and getting the weight off. So what are the blind or sometimes willful mistakes, and then what are the solutions? That's really what I want to spend the
All
next
right.
20 minutes or so on.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
So I can start with, let me ask you a question, right? You're a lawyer, right?
Mhm.
Would you recommend somebody go to court who's not a lawyer to defend themselves?
Absolutely not.
Right. And is it safe to say that even lawyers sometimes get lawyers to defend them?
I would
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
You know,
The
when
more brain, the more ideas. Yeah.
exactly. You know, if I want a haircut, I'm going to a barber. Most guys do not cut their hair. Ladies can spend hundreds of dollars on them here, right? Yeah, they may can do something themselves. Them have a girlfriend or a female relative do something, but by and large, we go to a professional. You go to a lawyer. So thinking that you're in your 30s or in your 40s and your entire life you've never gotten to look the way you would like to look, to think all of a sudden magically you're just going to figure this out is unrealistic. You need professional help. You need to hire somebody. Like what I did. I hired somebody, right? I hired several somebodies. This stuff doesn't happen accidentally, right? So that'd be the very first thing. And there are certain myths out there. Then this is going to sound counterintuitive, but most people don't eat enough food. Almost anybody that I've coached or just advised over the years, they don't eat enough food. It's very counterintuitive. The lady I helped lose 50 pounds, she was eating like between 1,000, 1,200 calories a day. I got it up to almost 1,900 calories. This is as she lost 50 pounds. Again, it sounds crazy. Eat more and lose weight. But you got to think about it, right? If your body is starving, it's not going to get rid of fat. You're stressing your body out. Your body don't know the difference of you sitting on your couch starving, whether it's on purpose or because your metabolism is crushed, versus you out there in the jungle somewhere, your tribe has been wiped out and people are hunting you, so you're stressed out, right? It's very counterintuitive, I know, to think, oh, I have to eat more. But also, if you're already hardly eating any food, what you're going to cut? And that leads me to my next point. Most people don't know what they consume. I forget which guest said it earlier. They said, it might be the Brown Gal Peace Lounge or another lady said, if you're talking about weight, it's not the quality, it's the quantity, the how much. This is true, right? Granted, there's some studies that you could make an argument if the quality is better, that also helps. Plus, it's healthier for sure. But it depends where. If you're eating 3,000 calories and you need 2,500, then you need to cut your food. But if you're 200 pounds, 250 pounds, 300 pounds, and you're eating 1,200 calories, that's not enough food. You're starving. I eat 2,800 to 3,000 calories a day.
So you heard it first.
Yes.
Eat more food.
But the caveat, Suzette, is you have to track the food first.
Well, I get ready to go eat my hummus and broccoli.
You have to track the food first, Suzette. So, you know, this is general high level information, but when somebody hires me, I do a complete assessment and you try to figure out what they eat. So, easy piece of software to use is MyFitnessPal. It's free. Tracking it for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Most people are shocked at how little food they eat. A lot of people who are overweight, they've skipped breakfast, right?
That was me.
They eat a little lunch. Yeah. It's a myth that very fat people are secretly eating a ton of food. They don't typically. It's not like they're devouring thousands of calories a day.
There's a lot of judgment around closet eaters, or that they must be eating something.
Exactly. You don't know to them.
And I'm saying half, like I know, but stereotype of that is that most of them are starving themselves actually, which is making their body think they're in starvation mode and holding on to the fat, which is like the opposite of what we need to be doing. I'm trying to work on that, y'all. This is big. Before the Billions again says, I'm serious though. I literally broke my mattress.
Oh, damn.
Whoa. When I was 300 pounds. Oh my God. I know you have an amazing weight loss story. And I know, oh man, Before the Billions, maybe you should come up and tell it, because I know we have limited time. With Kirk, he does have another interview. He is a man in demand, so he's not going to be able to stay a lot longer. But Before the Billions, I may have to drop the link for your brother just so you can share as well. You have such an inspiring story. I literally, seriously broke my mattress. I'm just too lazy to get a new one, so the mattress just leaves sometimes. I'm not laughing, but I'm like, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that
Will one that roll up and hit you in the face when it unravels. Get one of those to go to you. Have you ever seen those videos where the people are unrolling the mattress and it tells you don't stand directly beside stand on the other side, and they still be getting ate up by the mattress? You mean maybe Wayfair, maybe one of those. I mean,
you need more people like Will or myself who tell tell it how it is and not tell it how it is not, because the facade, I believe what that lady said earlier, that there's, to some extent, there's a facade with Lizzo, because I am pretty sure because she's over 300 pounds now. If she went down to 200, 220, 180, there's no way in hell you can't tell me that she would not feel happier. I would not believe.
So can someone Lizzo size lose weight? And I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh yeah, oh easily. The bigger you are, the easier it is to lose weight. You're carrying so much weight. Yeah.
I know bigger people tend to lose weight faster.
That is correct. And this is where you want to be careful, because the other problem is, again, it's like I met a guy the other day. I was coming from the gym, was late. I felt like a cheat meal, so I wanted cookies, right? And whole paycheck was closed because they close at 10. So I went to Wally World, and this gentleman was driving by, and he asked me, "Hey man, what?" He thought that weight he thought I was what, 6 foot, or he thought I was 220. I'm like, no, I'm not that big. So we started talking because he wanted to lose weight. And he said, yeah, he wants to change in 3 months. And I'm like, what? No, you can't change in 3 months. That's impossible. But if you listen to Instagram, you watch these stupid videos talking about lose your fupa in 2 weeks. And you know what fupa is, Suzette?
Yeah, me have a fupa, man. I know about fupa.
Or, lose 30 pounds in 3 days or 30 days and all kind of nonsense. And they sell these lies to people, and because people are desperate, they believe.
Can I not rub cream and get my fupa gone?
No magic teas, no waist trainers. I did a video on
them long old waist trainers. Y'all bought one? Them long old waist trainers that wrap you up like a noodle.
Yes, you know what it is? All it does is you sweat. It's like having diarrhea. You lose 10 pounds, but that's it. It's water weight.
Lord, and what interesting is, the girls that have had surgery, because their arms are still chunky.
Yeah.
Big like a bullock's.
Yes.
And their stomachs
small. Yeah.
And I'm like, but ma'am, you forgot to work on those arms.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said here, guys. So we're trying to get solutions. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off beat.
Yeah, the main solution, so things people can do immediately, right, is basically try to get 1 gram per pound of protein. Don't go overnight to go to that. And to do any of these things, you have to track your food. There's no getting around this. I resisted for a long time, thinking, I don't want to track food. This is ridiculous. Why do I have to track food? Tracking food is very easy. These apps are so simple. The first time you add a meal, the next time you add that meal, you simply swipe right with your finger, just like this. This takes what, half a second to do this? You can do this. Anybody has half a second to swipe right? They're very easy. And imagine you jump in your car, you want to drive from point A to point B. You have no speedometer, no GPS, no gas gauge, no radar detector. You're going to get tickets, you're going to run out of gas, you're going to get lost, right? That's what it's like if you're not tracking. You're just guessing. You're like, oh, the scale went down. Why it went down? I don't know. I don't know. I changed how I ate. Change what? I don't know. I'm eating better. Define better. I don't know. You're working out. How much you're working out? I don't know. I just go to the gym. I do stuff. You wouldn't do that in your life. You wouldn't do that with a legal case. Before the billions wouldn't do that, putting together an IT network. You wouldn't just do stuff.
Right.
You'd write stuff down. You would track stuff. You'd have a plan. You'd hire a professional. If I want an IT professional, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk to Will. I don't have those skill sets, right? So that'd be the next thing. Hire a professional. It's a lot. If you can find money for the new iPhone, the new Android, the new this, the new that, if you can find hundreds of dollars for your hair, you can hire a professional, right? Look at it this way. Seriousness. Picture this. A lady with hot hair, looks fantastic, but is very big. Another lady with okay hair in Walmart clothing, but a nice body. Who is going to be viewed prettier?
You open a can of worms.
Yes, I did. My point here is that you want to be effective with your money spent. This is my point. You can spend money on the hair, or you can spend money on a personal trainer. My point is that you can get more bang for your buck spending that money on the personal trainer. And it goes the same for guys.
Don't shame me anymore, please. Don't shame me anymore. I've gotten the message. Thank you for
No. It's like suits, right? I remember I used to buy Lacoste polo shirts, spending $100, whatever. I never get no compliment from women. The time I lost the 65 pounds and I bought these Walmart $8 polos, I get all these compliments from women, right?
Not the $8 polo from the Walmart, but the
Yeah,
body was right.
yeah. Because my dad used to tell me it's not this thing about the clothes make the man is nonsense. It's the man make the clothes. That's how it really works. So
I feel that about women. When I put on my clothes, expensive or cheap, they look good because I
yeah,
know what
I
fits
can do
my
that.
body. I don't have to wear super expensive. But anyway, that's another
Mm-hmm.
story. I want to get
Yeah.
BTB involved. How are you before the billions in the building? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I had to fix my
Hello.
mic because it dropped during my stream earlier.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, that
So
happens. Things happen.
yeah.
Listen, we have people drop off, we have mics drop off. This is the world of YouTube. I want to acknowledge this comment. The positive therapist been dropping some gems, y'all. Read the comments, rewatch, like, please, and share. Numerous studies indicate that depression is very common among people who have obesity, especially those with extreme. If you ever watch, and this is my guilty pleasure, I watch the 600-pound sisters. I watch the 1,000-pound people, like those
Mm-hmm.
those discovery. I don't know why I watch it because again, it gives you this false sense of I'm not that big.
Yeah.
God forgive me, I'm not laughing at their plight. It's like a weird nervous laughter, right?
Yeah.
So it's that feeling of like, well, at least I'm not them. I could walk,
Mm-hmm.
but at least I'm not them. It's this weird thing. I think a lot of people like to kind of, gaze and judge and think, well, if I'm not that bad,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. And it's a false, like you're saying, sense of security that, because you are not 1,000, you might be 300 and
Yeah.
you still got, plenty of health problems looking you in the face. So I think we have that sense of wanting to say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not them. I'm okay. BTB, talk about, first of all, your channel. Welcome again.
Hey.
And let the people know what you do here on YouTube.
All right. What's up, everybody? This is William from Before the Billions. I am a professional data engineer, and on my channel, I talk about many different discussions about different topics. I also do interviews on my channel. I interview Suzette and Kirk on my channel as well, so you can check out those videos on my channel as well. And I started a new channel called A Black Man in Tech, where I'm devoting it to uh, the experience of black men in tech. So we're having those tech discussions, helping people get into the tech industry. So
I
that's
love
pretty much
it.
what I do.
I love it. Before the Billions also has an amazing weight, or should I say health journey.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Weight loss
I was
and
gonna say
health.
weight loss, but then I'm like, we were talking about it last night that it's really about health
Yes.
and maintaining, like Maggie, the substitute teacher, said. Even though I watched her cook breakfast this morning, I was like, dang, this woman is amazing. On Instagram, you could follow her, or you could follow her on YouTube, and she goes live on both. But as you were about to say, describe your health or journey to health. How much were you? What caused you to want to lose it? How did you lose weight? Tell us.
Yeah, so I gained 300. I gained all the way up to like 300 pounds, and I was like, man, you know what? I need to go ahead and lose this weight. So I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, man, I done got fat. Let me go ahead and start running at the park. And then I soon found out that I couldn't run anymore. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me just walk. And I would walk hours,
Mm,
right? And I would do it during my meetings. COVID helped me out tremendously with this. So that's why I say, okay, you know what? Because we're not going into the office, I can just spend a lot of that time walking at the park.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I just finished a 12-mile walk at Piedmont Park. Was it Sunday? And absolutely loved it. It was a great time, and you have to do these things because it is just fun, right? It's just one of those things you can just get in your own headspace.
So
But
you lose all that weight by walking.
well, walking, drinking my water. The other thing, what I also did was I changed my diet completely. I used to eat a whole bunch of fast food every single day because that's how I grew up. I grew up eating
Mm.
fast food. And it used to be because my mom, I hate to say it, like my mom wouldn't cook every day. So what she
Yeah,
would
you
do
live a
is say,
reality life. This is not about judgment, but yeah,
right.
some people can't, some people don't, some people are busy. So yeah,
So
eating
yeah,
out
so
was
it
normal for you. Hey
right. So
Mandrell, I see you in the back.
it would be between Wendy's today or McDonald's the next day. So that's all it was.
Mm.
And I had to change that mindset. And also stop making excuses. That was another big thing that I did. But after I made those few changes, and also went into the gym, started actually doing weight training to actually tone my body. that's what helped me out with getting down to 225. So I'm actually a little bit less than 225 now, but like 223.
So I'm gonna bring
Right.
up Mandrell. Kirk has to be gone in like a few minutes here. We're gonna keep it moving, Kirk. I know you might have to drop off.
Right.
Pardon?
No, I said right.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm like, the show must go.
Yeah.
We got Mandrell coming up next, so I'm gonna keep going just for a little while.
Yeah,
you started a great conversation, and BTB, and I love calling you B2B. BTB. So walking lost, and drinking more water, walking long distances, it sounded, help you lose how much weight over what period of time before you started lifting weights?
When I actually got down to, I was like 270 by just walking, and actually I did walking and also jump rope as well. Okay. And then I worked my way up to being able to run after like a month or so. After a month, I was able to actually start running again. But yeah.
And that was how long took you to lose how much weight?
Well, till now, it took me about like a year. A little bit over a year to be able to get down to the weight I'm at now.
Wow. I am excited for you. And so everybody, I think this is the takeaway. Mandrell, welcome. What are some practical tips for people who want to lose weight? So I think Kirk made it very clear. Get help.
Yes.
Clear. First and foremost, before we tell you, drink more water, walk, add more, whatever to your schedule, exercise of different kinds, what I mean. We got to get to the reality that, as he said, an expert can look at you and see what you really, really need. And now I'm thinking about getting a trainer because I just got the food part together now, or I'm getting it together. It's not together all the way, but
yeah, I got lucky. My dad became a personal trainer.
Oh, see that helps. Having a personal trainer in the family certainly helps.
And see, last week on my show, I did a show about this fitness and health. Really? You didn't see the pushback I got?
About Lizzo's watch out for
not just Lizzo, just health in general. Like they came up with a big bone. Like I left a comment in your comment section. I said, "Listen, there's no such thing as being big bone. You've never seen a fat skeleton.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as being big bone.
How you gonna take that away from me? That's a part of my
No, it's an excuse people use.
Yes, it is
to say to maintain their current size or excuse why they're getting bigger.
Yep.
And
let me just tell it, ladies in the chat, just back me up. Hold on before we dismiss this. And Kirk, I know you got to go in like a couple minutes. I have always been heavier than every one of my Caucasian counterparts at every grade level and every stage, and I wasn't fat. I was always heavier. And I'm not talking about minuscule difference. I'm talking about 20 pounds. When white girls who looked like me were 100, I weighed 120. And I looked similar to them in terms of my distribution, my tightness, my fitness. But I will always be, when they were 120, I was 140, and we looked the same.
You have more muscle mass.
Visually the same, but
you have more muscle mass. That's all that means.
So why y'all trying to tell me I'm not big bone?
Because bone is not muscle. Bone is not muscle. Bone is not muscle.
Yeah, if you have all that muscle mass,
y'all not taking that from me.
If you have that much muscle mass, which is African Americans or black people in general, black people in general, we have the genetics.
Yes.
That make us more prone for athletics. You know
so
what I mean?
Why am I fat?
Well, I don't know why you're fat. I mean, I would say
I got the muscle and I'm big bone.
You got muscle, but all you have to do is trim the fat off now. Yeah. If you got the muscle, that's why. Like for me, I'm using myself as an experiment. Like I gain weight on purpose, right, to help someone out. All right, and then when I gain the weight, the person left. So now I'm stuck by myself to gain the weight.
Wait. Hold on, let me let
just
Kirk
to motivate a woman to lose weight.
Pause.
Go ahead.
That's an interesting show. Kirk has another interview right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kirk.
I want to give him the final word and at least let him say goodbye.
Yeah, you said, why are you fat, right? Yes, two basic reasons you could say. The easy one, it's the law of thermodynamics. Calories in, calories out. If you're consuming more than you're burning, or sorry, the opposite around. You're consuming more than you're burning or eating, you will over time put on weight. right? It's like 500 calories excess per day for 7 days. Generally, it's a pound of fat. The opposite one, the one people don't tend to think about, is if you've been dieting over the years, going yo, and you've messed up your metabolism, you've lost a ton of muscle, right?
Yes.
And you hardly eat, you're skipping breakfast, you might have the opposite problem that you're eating too little, right?
Yes.
If you start
Slow down the
tracking,
metabolism.
yeah, like I told you, that lady lost 50 pounds. She lost 50. That's a big number, 50 pounds. She was eating 1,200 calories a day. I increased it over time to almost 1,900.
Wow.
That's almost doubling the amount of food she ate. At first, she couldn't eat it. She's like, I can't eat so much food. But the scale kept going down. And this is not abnormal. This happened to me. When I go on vacation to Jamaica, I eat 4,000 to 5,000 calories for a week or two. The scale will either remain the same or I will lose a pound or two.
Wow.
Think about that. Most people get fat on vacation. I either stay the same or I lose. And this
That's the way you said it.
You need to hire me, Suzette.
Them get fatter. Yeah, most people, them fatter. Me lose.
You need to hire me, Suzette.
Clearly. Whoa.
Yeah,
okay.
Suzette, he's right.
Before my feelings get hurt, let me let
show.
Kirk get to going before my feelings
Kirk's
get
just
hurt.
spot on
My
our
man,
show.
I'm glad my guy here, his name is being covered up. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Mandrell.
Mandrell has agreed with me. So you see, I'm not crazy, Suzette.
Yeah, he's
No,
not. He's been
no, I'm probably
spoken
not eating
all
enough
show
calories.
long, and I had myself as a personal trainer, and I had another guy who was a personal trainer, Mr. Bennett. They gave the two of us so much pushback. Like, and it got to the point where it's just nothing but excuses that they had. So, like, we hit it with all the science and the numbers.
Yeah.
And then they just gave up and just came with excuses. I was like, well, some people are going to get it, some people aren't.
I'm going to let you
But
get
you've
out
been
of here.
spot on all day.
It was great being on the
quick,
show. I really
because,
appreciate it.
I gotta let him. No, you guys don't drop down. I'm just dropping off Kirk.
Yeah.
Because he has to say his goodbye. Say your goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Check me out, KirkDAFitness.com and my YouTube channel, KirkDA Fitness. It's one and the same. So, all right. It was great, Suzette. I look forward to doing this again. Thank you so much.
You're amazing. I know you got to go. See you
soon.
You
have great genetics,
These gentlemen will help add to the stream while in your absence. You were amazing. Go and subscribe, guys. And apparently, he going to send me his number.
Yeah, and Suzette, you have great genetics, man, because you're like me. It's evenly distributed.
No, I know I got a good frame. It's just hiding.
Exactly. You can, man.
All you have to do is chisel.
Exactly.
All you have to do is chisel now a little bit. Just chisel and smooth out. That's all you have to do.
I got to drop as well.
VTB got to go too. Okay, Metro, we're going to hang out for just a few minutes. VTB got to go. He got an interview too. Thanks, VTB. Thanks for coming up.
I'll contact you for that later.
All right, bye, guys. Bye. So they all leaving me. All right, Metro, give me some final tips because people need some help. Clearly, I'm going to get in the chat. Let me just see if you want to respond to a few of these before we head on out. If you don't mind, thank you for being my impromptu guest. Thank you, Jeremy. Always showing so much support. Thank you for the love. Great suggestion. Join a local He said, first of all, young men need boxing anyway for
they do self-defense,
and confidence and how to defend
That's
themselves.
what I did when I was growing up.
Yeah,
boxing.
He mentioned it before.
I was boxing.
He's like, get in that gym. You literally will be in the best shape of your life. Does that include ladies?
Yes.
Went from, I need to find, is there, what do they call XFC? What's the name of those gyms? UFC or MMA? You find an MMA gym, because that's what I do now. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, mixed martial arts. Is it expensive?
It depends on the one you go to. Like mine is $110 a month. But you get Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you get mixed martial arts, you get Taekwondo. Like
how many classes you get? Unlimited?
Yeah. Like
is expensive. I'm not gonna lie, but it's for what you're getting. Is it instructional, or you just can go in by yourself?
No, you go in there by yourself, or you go to the classes like to learn, and you actually learn the skill.
Do women go to what do they call UFC?
Yes. I mean, like for instance, Mondays and Wednesdays, I go at 5:30 a.m. and I come back at the 8:30 a.m. class. Then at 6:30 p.m. there's the MMA class. I mean, so it's like I'm going at.
And people fight each other, or they just show you the moves?
They show you the moves, or you could spar with each other if you like. You don't have to.
Fight nobody. I just want to.
You don't. It's the thing. You don't have to. It's there if you want it, though. I mean, and sooner or later, you're gonna want to get in there.
Something here. I
see
that.
You're gonna want to do it and test yourself out. Yeah, I'm telling you. And that's the thing is that's how you learn. You learn if you're good or not.
Oh, Jesus. Y'all want to put me in the ring? All right. Jeremy, great suggestion. Thank you again for your generosity. So shout out. We had a good show. I don't know if you saw Mandrell with Maggie, the substitute teacher. She was doing work showing us how to substitute. Go back and watch it. It was last night, y'all.
Yeah, last night. Yeah, I saw
it was
that.
fantastic. She made some quesadillas that were kind of, low fat, low oil, goat cheese, put this in it. And I was like, if I watch Maggie, I might become a better cook. Like I will.
And by the way, Suzette, you're not fat.
No, I'm fat.
No, you're not fat. No, you're not fat. No.
The way I know I can look, y'all wouldn't even be ready.
Y'all see, here's the thing. When I'm back in my prime shape, which is gonna be in a few months, y'all ain't ready. I'm gonna de-age by 20 years.
Yeah, that's how
you're gonna think I'm a child. You're gonna like, well, who's that? It's Mandrell. No, you're like, no, you're not. Your ex is gonna come out the whole nine.
Yes.
You're not Mandrell. I'm like, yeah.
That's the kind of feeling I want. I'm like, why did you let yourself do this? But it's pandemic. I know I got to give myself grace. It's pandemic.
Yeah,
I know it's no excuses.
I'm gonna de-age by like 20 years.
But you know how you could look, and it's so annoying, and it's like, oh my gosh. Miss Ganga, hey lady, I've been seeing you in the chat. How are you, darling? Walking is an amazing way to stay in shape. My day is completely off if I don't get at least 3 to 4 miles. My cousin is the same way. Before I work, it is more of a mental thing. I think I need to I've been
see my activity level right now is so high because I'm training for a fight and a jiu-jitsu tournament. So yeah, and people like
Mandrell? Lord, Mandrell done froze up on me. I'm gonna drink.
No, I'm sorry. I think
no, you're good now.
Yeah.
You're good
people
now.
Looking at me like, people in the class like, aren't you like in your 40s? I'm like, yeah, barely though. But yeah, you're 40, but yeah, you're 40. I'm 43, right? They're like, you're 43, you're gonna do this? I'm like, yeah, why not? 50-year-olds do it.
Y'all so funny. Sweet. Thank y'all for helping me talk about my genetics instead of me being fat. I am muscular. Thank you very much. I'm gonna claim
that's
that
why you were weighing more than your Caucasian counterparts. You had more muscle, which means if they started something with you,
weighing,
you
it was like they
would
look at me like, oh my gosh, like, how do you weigh so much? And I would be, and again, you feel bad about it. And you'd be like,
why would you feel bad?
Because at that time, you're a young girl, you want to fit in. You don't want to be perceived, even though I don't want to tell this story. I remember we had gone to the beach. This was like high school. And a group of guys, they were throwing all the girls in the water. So they would grab you. One would grab your hands. One would grab your legs and swing, and then swing and toss you. Mandrell, they grabbed me. Now I'm in tip-top shape, play sports, fine as all get out. They was like, ooh.
No, they didn't. Stop. That's not funny. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
And that was like, hold up.
She said, I'm not laughing. I promise.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
This stuff stays with you. It was like a ooh. Okay. And I was like, that was like, it wasn't no 1, 2, 3 go. It was like a goodness.
Whoa, get her out of our hands. There you go. Have that.
It was so, I remember being like,
oh man, that's bad. That's horrible. Terrible.
I could share it because looking back, and I'm telling you, I was like, what, $1.40, $1.35.
Oh, well, they were weak then. That's what that was.
No. But compared to the other girls
how tall
who
are
look
you?
Like me, I'm always heavier.
Well, how tall are you?
5'4".
5'4"?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna put you out there.
Y'all can get out my business. But yes, that was back in the day.
Yeah, Lisa, I'm not gonna put you out there and ask you about your weight.
No, don't get in my business. Let's answer it. Yes, I'm 5'4", Ebony. Thank you.
Yeah, like if you hired me as like an online coach or the other guy, huh?
Where are you located?
In Alabama.
But you do remote?
Yeah, remote's cheap too. Like if I was in person, that's when here comes the money. But I mean, yeah, remote's cheap. I just tell you what to do, what to eat. And
they tell me don't go in the MMA and get popped in the mouth.
No, you don't. Again, you don't have to spar.
I know.
Then
I come on here. Hi, welcome to Suzette.
Right, or worse, a busted lip. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
I do it all. I do it every time, though.
RM said she lost 40. Doing kickboxing. Wow.
Yeah, the kickboxing, especially if you're going for the health reasons.
Wow.
It's like,
Y'all
yo,
put me on.
especially when
Yes,
you're doing it for health
yes.
reasons. Yeah, you will lose weight now with kickboxing because
Yeah. This always
it's
got me, Ebony. It's based on, yes, even though they're trying to say there's no difference. We have a little bit more muscle, I guess is what they're saying. Not big boned, it does.
yeah, no, not big bone. It's the
Yeah.
muscle. Yeah, that means you have more muscle than on your frame than the rest of the women. But all you have to do, like just sitting here looking at you, all
See?
you have to do is just trim the
Like
fat,
shred up.
trim it
Yeah.
off. Yeah, but you
That
do need
sounds
to lift.
easier than Mandrill than I think it is. But the positive therapist says I've been the only Black girl in many of my dance classes. Yes, until I got to college, and the teachers will always push my butt down during bar exercises so I can listen. All of that. Like you get these subliminal messages as this being outside of the norm. This is not what we want. You're different.
See, your sisters, I don't get why y'all look at that as a bad thing and make y'all feel bad. I mean, you do know that we like that stuff, right?
Well, we ain't going there. Y'all told me height, weight, dress size, height, weight, dress size.
No. Kevin Samuels and Red Pill content creators.
Yeah. So let's end with some good, solid tips for those of us who are on this journey. As we mature, figuring out. I gotta first handle the food, I thought, and then like figure out what to do with the physical activity. So top 2 or 3. I'm gonna put it up, Kirk. Let me put up your name. Kirk go. So you have a channel as well?
Well, my show is on Blackmail Unfiltered Network.
Oh,
I do my show.
That's where I've seen. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've seen you before. Got it. So when is your show on Blackmail Unfiltered?
My show is every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m.
Wednesday at 8:30. Okay.
Central Time.
Okay, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow 8:30 Central. But and this week's going to be a good one. Yeah, it's going to be about the title of the show is the Hollywood Struggle. It's a play on the Hollywood Shuffle.
What does that mean?
It's about making it in show business in Hollywood as an African American female. So I'm going to have a woman there who's been in the industry for quite some time. A very special guest, person close to my heart. And so,
not gonna tell us. Okay, we gotta watch tomorrow, y'all. We gotta watch.
Person very close to my heart.
Nice.
I mean, y'all may not know her. She's not a big name actress, but she's had a lot of consistent work.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, it's very rare to be a big name artist in Hollywood.
Yeah. No, for real. So you work with people like this person, or is she gonna talk about her weight loss?
Oh no, she's not gonna talk about her weight loss. She's gonna talk about her experience making it in show business. Like every week, my show is about something different. I pick a different topic. It's not just about weight. Last week was about weight loss and health, just general health. Okay. It's like at the end of the show, I was like, good grief, all the pushback.
Just talking about how to get in shape.
Just talking about it. That was it.
I get you now. That's what I thought the show was about. Y'all like, what is going on?
No, my weight loss journey, Suzette, I was thinking about recording like every workout that I do and making something out of it, like a series out of it or something. But I was like, nah, y'all crazy.
I am listening though. I am listening.
Yeah, I know, right, Miss Creative? Suzette sitting there like,
I'm reading the chat. Reading the chat. That's how I know someone's going to go. I'm reading the chat. I might go over to
Blackmail. And falling asleep at the same time. Look at you.
I'm reading the chat. I'm trying to...
Didn't mean to bore you. I mean, my bad.
No, I'm reading the chat. Okay,
it's a good suggestion for you.
Okay, let's go. Suggestions for weight loss. Here we go.
You do need to lift weights, right? So you have a combination of lifting weights and cardio. But you want to do your cardio no matter what anyone tells you. If you're going to lift weights, do your cardio after that. Okay.
Cardio comes after weights. Okay.
Yeah, do the cardio after weights because when you lift weights, your body's going to build up lactic acid in the muscles. Okay. And what I found from personal experience and suggesting this to a lot of other people is that once they do the cardio afterwards, they're not as sore as they would be had they not done the cardio afterwards.
Oh, wow. So let's talk about ratio of time. So 30 minutes weights, 20 minutes cardio?
You can,
Doesn't
but it
matter
depends.
how
Depends
long.
on the weightlifting. You don't want to overdo it, and the cardio you don't want to overdo it. 30 minutes of cardio, 45 minutes of cardio. That's fine, especially if
Okay.
you're first starting out. You
Okay.
know, weightlifting depends on how many body parts a day you're working. So for me, Sunday and Wednesday is leg day. So I do
Hey, I
legs.
resent this TTO. I do want to put in the work. Hold up. We know what we're doing over here. We know.
I heard that.
Yes, lift weights. Miss Globe Girl says, don't want, but if it's swell too big, that's what I'm scared of. Do you understand what this means in patois? In
Don't
Jamaican
want back to
Creole?
fit. Oh, okay.
Because what do you think it meant?
The backside.
Yes.
To swell up too big. Yeah, I mean, I spent plenty of time in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Creole, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing. You don't want your pants not to fit.
Got it, but it's
like,
not
you know,
because
the police officers who pants be tight.
I get you, but they got way more fat on their frame than they
I don't want
should
my pants
have.
to look like that. I don't care.
No, it's not. Once you get the body fat down, all there is left is shape.
Okay.
And you'll fit into those pants.
So that is by weights, then
cardio. And then cardio, yeah.
They know what I'm talking
about. Say Sunday and Wednesday might be leg day for you, or like it is for me. Monday and Thursday is chest and biceps. You know, Tuesdays and Thursdays, shoulders and triceps. You know, and I work abs in there too. Abs in there 3 days a week.
Okay. How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
And how much? Can I ask you how much you weigh? I'm sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah, you can ask.
How much?
Right now, right now, as you see me, I'm 240.
That's muscular.
Musculature.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. But I'm getting down to my target goal is between 185 and 190.
That's what I would have expected. Jeez.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what muscle does.
Jeez.
So when you see me lean
you
out,
sound like me.
Yeah, when you see me lean out,
in general. Okay, no.
Right. I'll be relatively the same size.
Okay.
Crap. I keep freezing up.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Leg day every day.
No, not leg day every day. You don't work the same muscle every day.
No, I'm trying not to. I have bought a whole barbell. I haven't used it in like maybe a week. I need to get back into it because I was so focused on the food and I was scared I wasn't gonna have enough energy. So I need to bring back my weights, but maybe slowly get back into I have a lot of free weights and I have a bar with the 45s and stuff. But I'm scared I don't want to jump up and do them and then like blow up my legs and make them bigger instead of leaner and smaller. So I think I was gonna do like the what do you call it? The kettlebells that are more like 10, 15, 20, and then go to the bar like maybe like in a 3 weeks or a month.
You can start off like that if you want, but you're gonna need the barbell squat because that works more than just your legs and your glutes. Like when you're doing this barbell squats, no matter what you're doing, any exercise you do, tighten up your core. And there are people who get 6-pack abs, never do a sit-up. And that's why, because when you're doing compound exercises, you're working the core as well. You know.
Got you. Okay.
Like, so you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It won't take you long.
All right, so they know it. They saying, "Ooh, cardio is better than." I think for men. I don't know if that works for women. I don't know.
Well, if you only do cardio, then you lose muscle, and that's what the other guy was saying.
Yeah.
That if you just do cardio and you go on the diet, as soon as you come off that diet and ease up off the cardio, you start gaining weight because you didn't put on any muscle.
Got it. I want this too. I wish I could work out all day and not work a job. I would love that.
Listen,
I think that would be fun.
The thing is, listen, I got it like that, and it's not as fun as you think. It's not.
Oh, it's not fun.
It's not as fun as you think it would be.
I think it would be fun just to work out all day.
It was so many times I was like, maybe I just need to go back to work.
Okay, it's all grass is all greener until you.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Like, damn,
but I'm in the process of starting 2 companies, and
nice.
That occupies my time.
You're like, and I work out all day. Some real estate women to follow is Keisha Collins. Workout tonight. I will look her up. TTO Keisha Collins. I had a trainer that told me that. Doug, what did Doug say? I agree. Weight before cardio. Okay, cool. That's good. That depends on the person at Jeremy. I think your body type will tell you.
Well, not really. It just is what it is. It's 1 + 1 = 2 things. Like because
are you a fan of high intensity training? That HIIT training?
Yes, on the treadmill or outside, like doing sprints.
Jump up
Yeah, doing sprints.
Yes. I
I'm a
used to be
big fan
good
of
at
doing sprints.
sprinting. I love sprints. I'm not a long distance. I mean, I can run long distance. I have good endurance, but sprinting was my thing. I love to sprint. I find it fun,
It
even now.
is. And you don't have to do as much of it.
Yeah, I like racing. Like,
Yeah, me too. Like running 5 miles.
no,
Okay, cool, but that takes too long. And I'm
yeah, I like to sprint. And I know a lot of people who say that win sprints, as they call it, keep them in shape and give them a good
it
good
does.
shape. Weightlifting has told my body I'm getting back to my college dancer. Oh, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Classical,
Like
technical
you'll see,
dancing, not twerking. Yes.
like even with
Okay.
me, Suzette, as you see
Mhm.
me like lose the weight and lean out, I'll be relatively the same size, but I'll be much more toned. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Much more toned, much more muscular. That you see the veins and stuff coming out, and it's just
Yeah. You know what looks different when I lose weight? My face.
mine too. See, I've
My
never
face
been this big.
fizzles out.
I've never been this big, and so I see my face
Yeah, people think
puff
this
up
is
like
my
this. I'm
face, and
like,
I'm like, if they only knew this was.
exactly the same with me. I'm like, if only y'all knew what I really look like. 'Cause
Exactly. That's how I
this
feel
is
when I
not
look
how
in
I
the mirror.
usually
I'm like,
look. This is not my normal look.
this is not my face.
Mm-mm.
I don't think people understand it. I gotta just leave it alone. Sometimes I'd be like, okay, just accept this is your face.
You don't have to accept
No,
it.
I'm not. Because I'm like, my face could look like I want it to look. I need to test out this no working thing, right? Verify it's boring. Let me see. Exactly, right?
And listen, first you have to work. You have to work a high paying job that pays you a retarded amount of money, and do that for a few years, and then get exhausted of it.
And then figure
Even though
out
you
plan
love the
B.
job, get exhausted of it. But
Yes.
then you look at your finances and you're like, oh, what am I worried about?
Yes.
Here's my notice.
Yes,
Here's
exactly.
my notice. What am
I
I was
love
like,
it. Yes, Ebony. Growing up, I was very active. I played sports. I just love to be active. Now it's like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, when in my day, I used to run 7 miles a day. Goodness. Wait.
5'8", 240 is bigger than Jerome Bettis.
Yo.
I know, but you can't tell.
Yo, some of them football players, big and big. I'm like,
Yeah.
how are they? And they're fast with it. That's the
Yeah.
crazy part. They can sprint you down with that 300-pound frame and these things that it's just made different.
Yeah, they're
Thank
athletic.
you.
They're
I don't want to
athletic.
be a stupid, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Creative. Manja, when you are in shape, 5 miles should only take about 45 minutes. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when I'm in shape, 5 miles, 40, in between 40 and 45 minutes.
Running at
And
like
I'm done.
what speed? Like a 2.0, 3.0, like a top speed?
No, about a 7 or 8. The whole time, yeah.
Well, on that note, guys, I don't know anything about that lifestyle. I don't know nothing about that lifestyle. You're so funny. I'm just like, well, who does that? Why would you do that? That you know how
because
hard
to get it over with. That's why I was in such good shape for most of my life. When it came to the running part, I just wanted to be done. So I would hurry up and get done with it as fast as I could.
That.
And it was making me in ridiculously good shape.
I saw this post on Instagram, and again, one of my plus size sisters, 2 of them, I think, were on a treadmill next to each other, and they were going at 2.0. And you know how you got the little hot with it, like
walking.
And I presumed, which was a white sister in the comment section, was like, I don't understand. Are they running or are they walking with a hop? If I was like, if my sister only knew, they doing the best they can. But she was just like, no, it was such an innocent yet very accurate comment.
She was just asking out of curiosity. I don't understand. What's it's just that when white people get confused about the things that we do. It is hilarious because they're honestly curious and it sounds silly.
They were like, is it obvious to anyone else that this is not a run? This is a hop.
Right.
This is a hop walk.
If you need to
running,
start on the elliptical or something.
She was like, they're just walking with a hop. It was the cutest, most, I just think, not racial, but just, observant commentary.
Yeah, it was innocent. Yeah.
I was just like, you probably are right that my sister on the treadmill is not running. They are hop walking.
They are hop walking, yes. That's what we're doing.
Yes, Demons Creator said nothing like a thick man like The Rock and Mike Rashid. Okay. Wow.
They both been taking
5 miles in 45 minutes.
Yeah, 5 miles and 45 minutes.
For what? fast?
Because it's time to get it over with. I hate running distance, Suzette. I love running sprints. I can do that. Running distance, I had to learn how to do that. Like when I joined the Army, it was a it was a tough transition for me from going from being a sprinter to an endurance runner. It was rough, and so I just wanted to get it over with. So I was just
listen. Somebody say, y'all, it's time to go. Let's go. Well, I've enjoyed. I want to support a Blackmail Unfiltered. I think he has a show tonight. You saw it?
We do.
What's this topic?
Oh, your parents were toxic as hell. Suzette, please pull up. At least watch the show. You know,
I'm definitely gonna watch. I'm hungry right now. Now that we've talked about how healthy I'm supposed to go eat, I'm gonna eat. Yeah, I'm gonna eat something real. But appreciate y'all coming through. Apparently, hopefully we got some good advice. 45 minutes to what? I don't know. Understand this run 5 miles in 45 minutes business, but I hope you guys at least, food for thought and actual solutions on getting to where you want to be. I guess we could continue the conversation, especially when Kirk has more time, about the representation. But go ahead and support Kirk. He has been doing his thing. He has a whole breakdown of the Lizzo show and watch out for the big girls and what he thought in depth. But I think it was good conversation to talk about whether or not it's actually really good for that individual and us as a community for things like this to be featured in the way it's being featured. And I'll leave it there. Final thoughts from you, Mandrell?
Well, your guest today was spot on. Very good guy. If you're gonna hire somebody, hey, hire him.
Okay.
Or hire a personal trainer at your local gym or whatever. You know what I mean? Tell them you want to lean out and, tell them what you're looking for, But final thoughts, good discussion. We need to have more discussions like this about health and fitness to clear the cobwebs up with all the nonsense. It's not as hard as people think it is. And you do not have to eat bland food to be healthy. Please, people, season your food.
Yes. And plantains are the worst. They're like, it's like eating candy.
I love plantains.
Full of sugar. Plantain is fried.
I know. I don't eat them that often, but I love plantains.
No, they're great. I love them.
I'm not from the islands either, but I
love them too. But they're the worst for you. There's like eating fried, as we say, plantain. Eating fried plantain. Plantain is like the worst thing for you.
You know how to cook plantains?
It's high carb, high sugar. They caramelize.
You know how to cook? Do you know how to cook those though?
Of course. It's not hard. That's just slice and fry. But that's easy. But yeah, but then what you eat plantain with is what is also very carb centric. When you eat fried dumplings, or people would put bami or fried breadfruit or all kinds of stuff. So yeah, no, it's terrible. Yeah, I love it. Y'all talk about I'm listening. Ebony talk about I'm listening with half an ear. I wasn't listening, guys.
Now, Suzette,
yes.
Don't let 4 months pass and I reach my weight loss goal and you're still.
No, I didn't want to even put the pressure on myself. I didn't even want to say this here. Okay, I didn't even want to say, only because Maggie started the conversation last night. I didn't even want to say this here. This is not a public service announcement. This was just me being in my own mind where I need to be. I don't really want the public accountability for
Well, you got it. You put it on the air now.
No.
All right, Suzette, I'm gonna pull up and like, hey, Suzette, look at me. You see this?
Oh yeah.
Where you at?
Listen, no, you a professional, personal trainer, professional. Bami is good for you. Cassava, a girl. I don't know. Were you here last night, Ebony, when she did a cassava tortilla? I didn't even know they made those. I'm really excited about that. Yeah, somebody says yes, hire the one that shows results. You're very sweet. I'm gonna try something, y'all. I ain't gonna promise nothing. I ain't promising nothing. I'm just gonna be me. But yes, I'm on my intro.
Look at Miss Creative. Mandrell, hush. No,
anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Thanks for coming on, Mandrell. Thursday, I will be over at Talk with Tori. He does brain games, ones that he creates. And I'm going to be playing like a contestant. I'm kind of nervous about it. So I hope y'all come over and support. And then Talk with Tori will be on my channel Saturday for some mind games. Saturday at 12 noon is when I usually go live, y'all. So see you Thursday there. I'll probably just post some clips between now and Saturday. But I will be on Thursday, not here, talk with Tori, unless I see something crazy happen in the news and I want to jump. Y'all no, the speakers, whatever y'all want to call yourselves, don't be trying to hold nobody. All I want to do is eat right so I can live long and be healthy. That's all I want.
And you
Thank you so
exercise
much.
every now and again
The
too.
positive therapist, shout out to you. Hit
Yeah.
me up on Instagram. And if you have a channel, let me know too. Hit me up on Instagram. You have some good
What's your
nuggets.
Instagram? I think I already got you there.
Suzette Speaks, all of it, every platform I'm Suzette Speaks.
Yeah, I think I
Yes,
follow you on
this
Instagram.
is see, everything starts in the mind. When you make up your mind to make the necessary changes, you
That's
will.
absolutely correct.
That is the no realer comment because that's true. Yes, positive vibes to everyone. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all. I'm hungry though. So speakers out. Let's go. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for all the support. DL talking about he had something, he would have been here. I'm like, don't worry. Y'all don't have to tell me if y'all not gonna be here. Life happens. It's okay. You'll catch the replay. I know it's all love. So I appreciate y'all. And thank you again, BTB and Mandrell, for coming up and adding to the conversation. All right. Have a great night. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, but you know I got to do it one more time. Hit the like button before you go and leave a comment after if you will. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I did. Have a great evening. See you Thursday.